Yeah, I was making sure I wasn't going to drop it.
After I ride to Megalong Valley, there was one key takeaway for me, and that was that the KTM, while a great bike, was the wrong bike for the job. It was the wrong bike for me. Now, while I already kind of knew this, I worked out what the true difference was between a motocross bike, an enduro bike, and an adventure bike, both big and small. For me moving forward, I need to consider that while the motocross bike obviously wasn't the right bike, to understand what the right bike was, I need to understand the primary scenario that I was looking for to apply a bike to. That for me was actually pretty easy. Victorian High Country has always been on my list of places I wanted to go, and watching Brent's journey here on motorrides.com.au, that was the exact ride that I wanted to have a bike for. I looked at that and thought, yep, that is what I want to build a bike for. So, same with cars, I didn't want something that was fast. I wanted something that was agile. I wanted something nimble, and I didn't want something that was too heavy. So because of that, anything over 1,000 cc's was out. A 1200cc is also out because the green slip prices and rego prices are like 3 times the price. Did you know that? $200 for a 600 and then almost $700 for a 1200. That's crazy. I knew what I needed, and that was a mid-size adventure bike. So which bike was also an easy question to answer. At the moment, if you go looking for mid-size adventure bikes, you can't look past the Tenere 700. Looking at all the reviews that people put out there, anyone who's ever ridden one of these bikes, without doubt, says that the Tenere 700 is the best mid-size adventure bike that you can buy at the moment. I was already a Yamaha fan, so it was a perfect fit. And to me, the engine that I had in my MT-07 was a brilliant motor, so to put that in an adventure bike, it's just a no-brainer. So that's the bike I wanted. Unfortunately, it was not in this year's budget for me to go and buy another motorbike, so I had to make a compromise. So the obvious path to go down from there was to look at a second-hand older model Tenere. Now it just so happens that there wasn't many available, and there just happened to be one in New South Wales that was available and within my budget. So I went down and had a ride of this particular one, and I have to say I straight away fell in love with it.
Alright, so I'm off to have a look at a older Tenere 600. Whoa. Yeah, I was making sure I wasn't going to drop it. That feels pretty good. Yeah. Alright, so man, it feels just completely different to the MT, of course, which you would expect, but you know, single cylinder versus 3, but it's very sturdy, a lot sturdier than I thought it would be. Likes being upright. Standing up on them is like super simple. Like, it feels really comfortable to stand up on. Whereas like the MT, when you stand up on it, it kind of feels a bit awkward. Yeah, definitely tall. It's a lot more comfortable than I expected, actually. I could imagine sitting on this for a long period of time. Like, compared to the KTM, this is a whole different world. It needs a lot of cleaning up, a bit dirty. I mean, it feels pretty sturdy for something that has 53,000 Ks on it. Motor feels good, gearbox feels nice. Yeah, it doesn't feel perfect, but it's probably just as imperfect as my thing, really. But I'm actually yeah, quite pleasantly surprised at how nice this is to ride, how nice it is to sit on. It's more comfortable than I expected.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah. Like, I was expecting it to be more comfortable than the enduro bike, but it's like worlds apart, yeah?
Yeah, no, like it's actually really, really good. If you get rid of the knobbies and put some switch tires on it, it's very smooth.
Yeah. Nice. How'd you find that?
Pretty good. Like, it's a bit small for me, I think. Longer distances, but...
Yeah.
Now, the first problem I have is I didn't know what my budget was. I wasn't going to know what my budget was until I sold the KTM. So, first task, sell the KTM. So once I listed it for way too much and then slowly dropped the price every few days, looking for the rate of inquiries to go up to a couple per day. Once I'm at that, I know I'm at the right price. So the first person who arranged to come and have a look at it didn't.
That was smart. Probably should have topped it up with fuel first. Alright, time to sell this puppy. Still waiting. This guy said he was going to meet here at 7:30. It's now 20 past 8 and about 7:45 I asked where he was and he said he was just near the Fiddler. Now the Fiddler's 12 minutes away, so I don't know what's going on. This guy's gotten lost on the way or what? Seriously. You don't get lost these days, do you? Google Maps. If he's not here by 8:30, I'm going. It's not cool. Like, how hard is it just to message and say, sorry mate, can't get there, or something's come up, or whatever. It doesn't even matter what it is. It doesn't even matter if it's like the shittiest excuse in the world, but just any excuse is better than just like ghosting. It's just dumb. Luckily, there is plenty of other buyers. Someone else is coming to look at it on Saturday. One last message. Sorry mate, I've got to go. Kids are at home waiting for dinner. Oh well. Oh man, this thing's too big for me. It's one of the reasons why I want to sell this thing, because it's too hard to get on. Thing's gone cold sitting here for that long. I'm just going to pull in here and just make sure I'm not being followed as well. That's one thing that people can do, is they, you know, people pretend that they're buying a bike and then they come and have a look at it. And that's why you don't bring them to your house, because they come and have a look at it and go, oh yeah, nah, and then they turn up that night and steal it. But if you don't meet at the house, the other thing they can do is they can wait for you to leave and then follow you. So it's always a good idea just to make sure you're not being followed.
And then the second guy came and looked at it on Saturday.
Alright, he said the car park was full, so he's gone down the other end. And he said he brought a trailer with him. That's a promising sign. Although, need to be prepared for the lowball offer. He's obviously keen is good, but needs to be the right amount still. There you? You Karen?
Yes, hey.
How are you, man?
Alright, how are you?
Good. Ugh.
Bit packed in here at the moment.
I know, it's crazy, huh?
That was that, sold. And that was exactly the number that I actually needed, so that was perfect. So literally within the hour, I sent a message to the guy with the Tenere and put down a deposit. Then about a week later, the next thing I know, I'm riding home on my new bike.
This is my new bike. Time for us to get acquainted. I kept hitting the horn by accident. There's so much adjustment when you get used to a new bike, but between this and the MT, like, they couldn't be more different. They're just polar opposites of each other. So just a few little things to do just to make it feel like mine, I guess.
So what's the first thing you do when you get a new bike? You go for a ride. For this ride, I was meeting up with Gary, but it was already midday by the time we were taking off. It was quite late in the day. A big part of me was thinking there's a few still niggling problems here that I needed to sort out. Of course, a bike with 50,000 Ks on the clock is always going to have a few little things that need sorting out. Maybe I should just go back and get the MT and then I can have a nice little ride in the afternoon. No, I have to work out all the things that I need to fix. I've got to work out all the things that need adjusting and so on. Just keep going. As it turned out, the more and more I went on this ride, the more I was falling in love with this bike. It was just amazing. It's such a different motor, a big thumping single cylinder. It just feels completely different to the triple on the MT-09. The smoothness is not there, but it's torquey and it just loves sitting at speed. It just loves sitting on 100 k's an hour and it would do it all day long.
To feel the sun again. Sometimes it takes a big rain.
It was already late in the afternoon and I thought to myself, I just can't go home without at least touching some dirt. Even if it's just a couple hundred meters, just to do something on the dirt so I can feel what this thing is like. The plan was to do the loop around Commission Road, but I totally ran out of time, and so I just went in search for the start of it. I thought I would just look for some dirt somewhere around there. I found this nice little stretch, and I was so impressed with this bike. It just felt so good on the dirt. It was so comfortable. It felt so stable. It felt as stable as it did on the bitumen. I couldn't believe how nicely this bike handled on the dirt. And even as I followed this little trail, which wasn't very long, it just got bumpier and steeper and the bike just glided over the top of it. I ended up at a gate and so I had a quick stop and then I turned around and there's this guy pulls up on a tractor and I have to admit I thought, crap, here we go. He's going to tell me off about riding up his driveway or something like that.
Hey, how are ya? Hang on. What's that?
What are you looking for?
Oh no, I was just taking this. It's new to me,
Right.
so taking it for a little spin just to see what it's like on the dirt. So,
Yeah. Where are you from?
down in Sydney.
Yeah, so you're all tuned in. You got cameras.
Yeah.
You got contact with other blokes.
Oh, hang on. Is that recording? Sorry.
Turns out the guy just wanted to have a quick chat. He just wanted to see where I was from and, started telling me the story about how the cops were following him down Putty Road and he just wasn't doing anything wrong. And I thought, oh, you just needed someone to chat to, didn't you, mate? Anyway, so that was lovely. From there, I started heading back. It was time to get home, and I wanted to get home before the kangaroos started jumping out on the road. So as I'm heading back down Putty Road, the sun was setting, I had my heated grips on, the shield was keeping me out of the wind. It was absolutely amazing. It was just so enjoyable. It was so relaxing, so easy. The bike was just such a pleasure to ride. And I could easily just imagine just spending hours and hours just riding and putting in kilometers under your belt. So this was definitely, without doubt, the right choice. It was the right bike for the job. It was the right bike for me. And I just cannot wait to take on the next adventure.
Let it all go. Your chance, your every low. You made it through another day. You're surely on your way.